So we've already talked about from a visual aspect how Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is an abomination to any true Dragon Ball fan, right? But now we have to talk about how from a auditory, from a sound base, how this game is an abomination, an affront, a blasphemy to any Dragon Ball games fans' ears. Because this game, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, has got to have the worst soundtrack of any Dragon Ball game, and it's not even close. Period, point blank. This has got to be the worst soundtrack I have ever heard. And I'm a music connoisseur. You know, when I put together the Xenoverse, rank compilations, I'm very picky about the tracks that I use. When I use a Dragon Ball track, we gotta rock the Budokai 3, we gotta rock the Raging Blast 2. Honestly, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, hearing it, and we've heard multiple tracks, so we know the design direction that they're going, and it's complete garbage. There's nothing that gets the blood pumping, that gets you ready to fight, that gets that spirit of combat going. It just all sounds like dead, generic, could fit any game, anime rock. It does not sound good. It sounds as generic can be. I would not be surprised if they had a generic music library and they just picked some random stuff out of it and called it a day. I mean, I get it. Like, there was one guy named Kenji, I think Kenji Yamamoto was the name, and he did the soundtrack for a lot of the Dragon Ball games, and he got in trouble for doing Stradivarius covers or whatever for some of the games. Like, the Challengers OST from Budokai 1 and Budokai 2, it ends up that got taken from a Stradivarius song, right? Which, again, he adapted it for a Dragon Ball game, and in today's culture would be called a cover or a remixing or whatnot, but he got in legal trouble, so all of a sudden now they got to make all the Dragon Ball console games sound crappy. And I say the console games because they manage, and this is what pisses me off the most with Sparking Zero. Sparking Zero chose to sound like trash when Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle, the random gotcha PNG game, GIF game, or whatever, I will say the one positive thing that I can say about that game is at least the soundtrack sounds like a Dragon Ball game. At least I can say that. This game over here, the console game that had 5 years of development, sounds like trash. Generic, dead trash. And the random gotcha game has the good soundtrack. And no, this is not something they can go and rush. Oh, we'll finish it, we'll fix it in 3 months. Oh yes, we'll fix it by the time the game releases. Do y'all not know how game production works? At this point, they're just printing the disc off. That's why you're getting the pre-order game, because they already have their production done. Like, they're telling you it's not about, now they're in mass production. The games are being printed, they're already done, they're in their little neat little packages, their boxes, and they're being sent out and they're being shipped. Okay, in 2 months, in a month or 2 months, they'll have the review copies to the YouTubers so that they can have the story mode uploaded, and the little first day I played all the characters footage. It's kind of sad that they didn't put any effort into this soundtrack. I'm listening every aspect. The battle music sounds like trash. So if you ever want, I know we're gonna have that one person that says, but even though they shouldn't do this, right? They'll do it. Xenoverse, when you load into the lobby, it sounds bad. Yeah, the lobby music sounds bad, okay? But we're not talking about Xenoverse. We're not talking about fighters. We're not talking about Kakarot. We're talking about where Sparking Zero is screwing up. So quit doing that little BS of pointing at everything else and accept criticism for your trash ass game. This game is so trash that it flopped on a sound design level. 5 years. You had 5 years to get this right. 5 long years and you got this wrong. You can't tell me. I don't care. I will not hear, well, the producers and the director, they're fans of Dragon Ball games. Look at them do the Kamehameha pose. I don't want to hear that garbage. They're not fans. You cannot be a fan of Dragon Ball games and you get the music wrong. How did we go from Budokai Tenkaichi 2 music, Tenkaichi 3, Budokai 3, Raging Blast 2 music, and we went to utter garbage with Sparking Zero? Look, we're gonna have the little pretend defenders come in. It's okay, you're just mad because it's not the Tenkaichi 2. No, it is garbage. On a subjective and objective level, it is garbage. It doesn't sound like BGM. It literally just sounds like background noise. Not background music, background noise. It doesn't take a presence. It doesn't set the feeling. It sounds generic. There's no emotion behind it. There's no drive behind it. You are not gonna tell me that Mr. Yamamoto is the only composer, because if you want to say we can't use him because of legal issues, okay, there are thousands, millions of other people in the country of Japan that you could have contacted to be a composer for this game. There are thousands of legends in gaming for music composition, and you couldn't drop a few dollars, a few thousand dollars is nothing for $1 billion company. You can drop that money and get them to come in and say, hey, we want a Dragon Ball fighting game soundtrack. We want that heat. Hey, just come on and bring it, bro. We'll pay you the money. We want this. We want to go for a Budokai 3 sound, a Tenkaichi 2 sound, but we can't, don't copy the music like the other guy did. Just kind of, you know the kind of area that our fans want. Try to go for that. You're a legend. We're giving you the ball. Just run with it. You couldn't do that. You just went to a generic library and just picked out some tracks because you were lazy. This soundtrack sounds as lazy as the game is put together. Okay? It's garbage. I will not hear any defense of this at all. All defenders are getting shut down. You will not lie to the good Dragon Ball fan base and tell them this soundtrack is any amount of good. It is garbage. Garbage. And I'm very particular about my Dragon Ball games music. Even though I don't like gacha games, I have to give the respect to Dokkan Battle. At least they tried. At least I would give them a B. Still, the Dokkan soundtracks are nothing compared to Budokai 3 and the Tenkaichi series. At least they sound like they belong in a Dragon Ball game. Can we all say that? At least they sound like they belong distinctively in a Dragon Ball game. Because it's bad that at this point I could take the Sparking soundtrack and literally put it in any anime game and it would fit. That shouldn't be. Every game should have a distinct sound. Dragon Ball games have their distinct sounds. Like Street Fighter used to have its distinct sound. Tekken used to have its distinct sound. And then somewhere along the line, people became lazy. I mean, this is just not a Dragon Ball issue, but since we're on the topic of Sparking Zero, the soundtrack is just a symptom of modern gaming laziness. Fuck this guy for saying that he's a Dragon Ball fan, the head director. That your soundtrack is garbage. I don't see how anyone could foresee themselves playing this game at all, let alone for hundreds or if not thousands of hours, and the soundtrack just sounds this damn dead. This damn dead. I thought people were playing a game, not going to a fucking wake. This sounds like you're at a fucking wake. This sounds like quiet music. It's quiet just in the background. Background low. We don't want to ruckus. We just want it really low. I'm sorry. It's garbage. Garbage. Garbage.